Today's episode is brought to you by Patreon. If you're interested in supporting the show, go to patreon.com/JoshuaVelas and become a $2 backer today and get early access to the new episodes. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below, but for now, on to today's episode. You're listening to the Augment Experience podcast. I'm your host, as usual, Joshua Velas. I'm a student, musician, and a gamer at heart. Join me as I sit down every week to talk about all the latest news in the technology, business, and video game world. I hope you guys enjoy.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. My name is Joshua Velas. I am your host as usual, and obviously, welcome back to the show. Today's episode 219 of the show, and before we get started, I'm going to do a house cleaning quick because, well, it only makes sense that we do it, and you guys like it when I do it, so let's just get on with the house cleaning. I do want to say thank you guys for coming back and listening to today's episode. It does mean a lot to me. You guys constantly take time in your days to download these episodes, to share these episodes, to constantly keep letting me know how you feel, whether you like my stupid opinions or not. At the end of the day, I greatly appreciate it, and I greatly appreciate you guys, well, make time to actually come listen to these episodes, and, you know, it doesn't feel like I'm just talking to myself right now. I'm probably going insane while doing this show some days, if I'm just being honest with you guys. But I do want to say thank you guys for helping us hit over 3,000 total downloads. I'm really appreciative that we even hit over 3,000 total downloads. So for me, it's a great accomplishment, and I couldn't have done this without you guys. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for that. Thank you all for your love, your support, for, again, downloading these episodes, for sharing these episodes, for, you know, letting me know how you feel about the topics, because you guys vote on them. Even though, again, this week we did not do a poll, which I'll explain again at the end of this episode. You're also probably wondering, if you're watching the video version, that there's no, well, more like just a generic backdrop that I have, or a backdrop, but obviously you can't see my face because camera issues. However, this week's episode, I decided to do something a little bit more special. It's not that I've researched this topic, but to me, this is something that's been more and more relevant to me, and at the same time, I've seen it become more and more relevant in the gaming space. I'm going to talk about retro games, or in this case, the state of retro gaming. And retro gaming right now, it's weird to say this, right? Let me just say this right now. It's weird to say that the Game Boys, and the Nintendo DSs, and even the 3DS now, yeah, these consoles are now gonna start being considered retro consoles, and that's very weird given that, well, they came out in the early 2000s, well, specifically the DS Lite, you know, the Game Boy, but even though the 3DS lineup came up like in 2013, around that time frame, 2011, 2013, and it feels weird because these are now considered retro consoles. Same thing with like the Wii, the Wii U, the GameCube, you know, and then along with, say, things like what, the PS2s, the Xbox 360, the original Xbox, you know, if you want to count the Xbox One, you could, PS4, PS3s, you know, PS1s. It's, to me, the state of retro gaming is in a very interesting spot, and this is where we need to start breaking down this conversation before this just turns into a rant about pricing just going absolutely through the roof for a lot of this stuff, and it's just, well, wildly out of control. So let's start with, why did I feel like this was something worth talking about on the show? And to be honest with you guys, in the past couple months, weeks, days, I've been buying a lot of retro stuff. Prime example was, throughout the past couple months, I've been going to local game shops in town and just buying some old video games. Like, this all started when I bought a 3DS back, when I bought a 3DS XL, or the new 3DS XL back, because a long time ago when I was in high school, which sounds very weird to say that, a long time ago I was in high school. I haven't been in high school in 4 years, and by the time when I had my DS, my 3DS and everything like that, I had, you know, the original, the OG red Nintendo 3DS, the small red one, and then I eventually upgraded to the new Nintendo 3DS XL when that came out. I had the Hyrule Warriors edition, if you guys know which one that was. And then I eventually sold it like an idiot. I also had a lot of games that meant a lot to me, like Mega Man Star Force 2, Zakura and Sonora. I had Pokemon Soul Silver. I had Pokemon White. I had Pokemon Black 2. I had a lot of these games that meant a lot to me. And then even some 3DS games like the 3DS Pokemon games and stuff like that. And I eventually sold them like an idiot. And looking back at it now, I did regret it because I actually wanted a lot of those games back. So I went to a local pawn shop and I found the Galaxy 3D new Nintendo 3DS XL, the Galaxy one, the one that I've been really wanting. Which is funny because I actually saw that at a Seconds in Charles for $100 with the box and everything. And I thought, nah, bro, I don't need that. And then I thought about it and I'm like, let me go back and see. And it was gone because somebody also realized, hey, I probably should buy that. And then when you start looking at the pricing right now for 3DS or new 3DS XLs, they're worth a lot of money, especially a lot of the variants. Like the Galaxy one's going for like $300 in a great condition. Same with like the SNES model. Same with the Hyrule Warriors. The Majora's Mask one. What's another one? The Pokemon Sun and Moon one. And then you have like the special editions, like the anniversary of Pokemon that had red and blue. That new 3DS, like that one's going for some big baller bucks. And I was fortunate enough that this pawn shop had a great condition Galaxy one with, some minor scuffs here and there. Like I'm talking about very minor scuffs, but like $120. And it was great. The buttons all worked. The screens were all in great condition and just with some minor scuffs on the outside. But overall, the whole thing was in amazing condition. And from there, we began my insane spiral of just going down and buying a lot of shit. I essentially bought the DS Lite back. I bought it it was the gold Legend of Zelda one. It was that one, that special edition, which my friend had it, and I was like, look, I'll buy this. And I found a really great condition one, so it was worth it. From there, I went and bought a lot of games. I modded my new 3DS, and then I also modded my DS Lite to play a lot of games, like to get some of these more expensive games that I could just never own personally again. Prime example was Mega Man Star Force 3. I've never owned that game. I've always wanted to play that game. I didn't even know it existed until someone told me it existed, and I watched videos about it, and I played it, and I was like, this game is awesome. I love this game. Trying to buy that game right now. This is where we'll talk about the whole retro stuff, and it's just out of control right now. But from there, I ended up going to GameStop, and I did find some games that I actually wanted, like New Super Mario Bros. On the DS. I bought, Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time 3D. I bought Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, Super Mario 3D Land, Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS. I bought Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. I bought Super Mario Maker for the 3DS. And, I also found some other 3DS games that I had, like some other smaller ones that I wanted, like Super Mario Bros. 2, and just, other stuff here and there. And then we started getting to the Pokemon stuff, which, good God almighty, boy, did that hurt my bank account. I will sum it up like this. I bought Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky. I've always wanted to play that game, and that was the first one that I bought, and it was a pretty penny. It was like $70. And then I bought Blue Team Rescue, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Team Rescue. I also bought Explorers of Darkness. I got that too. And from there, this is where it gets into an absolute crapshoot. I bought a Game Boy Advance and an Advance SP, both with the AGS 101 display. So that's the desirable display besides an IPS display, which the Game Boy Advance, like the original model, that one was a modded one that came with the AGS 101. I bought those suckers. From there, we ended up, I bought like a Super Mario Kart or Mario Kart from the Game Boy. I bought Mega Man EXE, Mega Man EXE 3 Blue Moon. And then from there, God, this is where it just becomes a crapshoot. I'm just being honest. I bought Metroid Fusion. God, I wanted that game so bad. One of my friends has it. He'll never sell it to me. I've been wanting that game back for a very, very long time. So I got it for like $80. God, that hurt my bank account, but that was the least of my worries. And then I went one day and I bought a bunch. Like I was just seeing what they had for my Switch. They had some games that I wanted for my Switch, And then I see that they have Pokemon Platinum Complete in Box for $80, and then they have Pokemon Leaf Green for $90, and I was like, good God, this is going to suck. All right, hand them over. And then from there, we delved more into the rabbit hole of insanity, and we ended up buying Pokemon Crystal. We bought Pokemon Emerald. We bought Pokemon Heart Gold. Or actually, no, Pokemon Soul Silver, because I wanted that game back, because that was my favorite Pokemon game growing up. I wanted that back. I bought a complete inbox Pokemon Black too. I bought a copy of Pokemon Black. All of these are authentic, real, and good God, that hurt my bank account. And then I also bought, and if you don't remember these, because trust me, these are, I remember these in the store in 2016 and stuff like that, or in 2017. The NES Classic and the SNES Classic. And then I also got the Sega Genesis Mini. Good God Almighty, my bank account was screaming. So why did I go down this rabbit hole of buying all this retro crap? And for me, I really missed a lot of this stuff. Like, this was stuff that I remember seeing, like, not even that long ago. Like, think about it, 2016, 2017, that was like, what, 6 years ago? And I remember, especially like the NES Classic and SNES, I remember seeing those on store shelves and just seeing how easy they were to get. I remember when 3DS XLs, and they were just trying to get rid of the suckers and were selling them for like $100. And it was just so easy to just walk in and get them. And then none of us thought like, oh, well, who cares about that crap? Fast forward now, and it's like super desirable because for some reason, the state of retro gaming is just an absolute crapshoot right now because everybody is just buying stuff and selling them at ridiculous prices. Don't believe me? The Pokemon games are selling at ridiculous prices. Think about it. The DS Pokemon games for retail were like $40 when they came out. Now, granted, some people debate, well, stuff before 2008, but remember inflation. I'm like, well, yes, we understand that. But you have to keep in mind, a lot of these games were $40 released. And now, not even with the box, like just the cartridges by themselves are going for stupid amounts of money. Like, I was fortunate enough that I got Pokemon Platinum for $80. Platinum is one of the most desirable Pokemon games. The fact I got it at least for a really good price of $80 complete in box, I'd rather pay that than probably like 120 something. Now for Pokemon Black 2, I paid $120 for that, which, think about it, that's 3 times how much it is normally when I bought it originally. Pokemon Black, like, it's funny because I had Pokemon White growing up. I bought that one, Pokemon White. I got Pokemon Black. Like, the outside of the box was like $70, bro. Pokemon Crystal, for Christ's sake, an authentic copy was $100. Like, good God Almighty. Pokemon Emerald. Oh God, Pokemon Emerald. That was just okay. I'm just saying this right now. That kicked me in the dick hard. That was $140 without the box to confirm, and it's a real copy. A complete in-box copy of freaking Pokemon Emerald is like, what, $500-$600? And some people say, nah, bro, you're exaggerating. Go look it up right now, homie. Like, it is ridiculous on how much. And Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, those complete in box with a real Pokewalker that is still functioning, easily $300. I saw it for like $300-$400, bro. Like, good God. And then Mystery Dungeons, like, you know, they're more niche series. But Explorers of Time, when people think about Mystery Dungeon, they always think of Explorers of Time, one of the greatest Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and arguably one of the greatest Pokemon games ever made. That game, I think I paid like $60 for that for just the cartridge, and like a complete in box is like 100, maybe $120. I'm like, good God. Eventually, I'll find the boxes for some of these things, but just I'll deal with that another time, you know. And then the SNES and SNES Classic, both the NES and the SNES Classic. It sounds weird because they sound so similar, but it's not like they were the same console. Just one was a successor. You know, no, ignore that crap. Yeah, I spent like $100 and then $120 respectively for these. Like, the SNES is the more expensive one because the more valuable one. And I didn't even realize like faking these things and how crazy people are going. This is where I'm getting at with the state of retro games. And I'll say this now. Let's not get started with the GameCube. The GameCube is just in a whole different other shit show right now. Those prices are rising. The games are becoming more and more hard to come by, even sealed copies. Like, the state of retro gaming right now is just in an absolute piss state. And I think it doesn't help that the idea of collectibles, of rare old stuff, is starting to become more and more like people are just starting to make it more valuable, and as a result, everything is just going up with it. It doesn't even help when you think about it. Like the 3DS eShop is about to shut down, and a lot of these games, you can get them for cheap digitally right now, but there's going to be a time when you can't buy them digitally anymore, and your only option is buying physically. Either that or modding, ROMs. I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying, and a lot of these games are going to shoot up in value. Like I'm telling you right now, a lot of the games on 3DS are going to shoot up heavily in value. Anything with Zelda, Pokemon, Mario, those games are going to shoot up. Like Super Mario 3D Land is going to shoot up. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D, those games are going to shoot up like crazy. Xenoblade Chronicles 3D is probably, well, that one maybe not, because you can just get it on the Switch, the remastered version, and it runs better. Like Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, like the Kirby games are also going up. The Pokemon games right now, even complete in boxes, like they're not too bad right now, but still, like it's wild, bro. These are wild times. I'm telling you this right now. And it doesn't help that a lot of the stuff is just going to shoot up in value, and it's just going to keep going up and up and up. And it's like, bro, when is this going to end? We're just getting kicked in the dick left and right, bro. And to me, this is why I wanted to talk about it, because a lot of this stuff is important to me. Like I like a lot of these things that people consider retro stuff. Like, and they're not even retro. Like there's stuff that I grew up with, and I'm a 2000s baby. I was born in 2000. Like I was literally born at the turn of millennia. Literally, I'm like one of the first few suckers that came out into like the start of the new year, 2000. I was January 28th, and it's like, and it's just crazy to think about it, guys. Like, this is where we're at with this stuff. And it's just gonna keep shooting them in value. Like even my Pokemon games, I'm not reselling them. I guarantee you, in a couple of years, these suckers are probably gonna shoot up even more. Like my open box of Soul Silver is probably gonna shoot to like maybe double. Like, the fact that I got it for a steal of a price that I did now was insane. And that copy of Pokemon Crystal, like if I keep that in mint condition, people are going to be offering me maybe $200-$300 for that damn sucker in a couple years, because that's just how the cookie crumbles with a lot of this stuff. And it's just sad that this is where we're at right now with a lot of this old stuff, and it's only going to get worse. Like as these older consoles like become harder and harder to find parts to repair them, people want like, consoles that are, in great condition, that have new batteries. It's just, to me, it's going to be weird. And a lot of the stuff I'm never going to sell. I'm being honest. Like my Game Boys, my DS Lite, my 3DS, like hell, I'm selling those things. My SNES and NES minis, hell no. My Sega Genesis mini, I haven't even played that, but I'm going to start playing it, because I've never actually played the Genesis. I'm saying this right now. I've never once played or owned a Sega Genesis. This is my first time ever going to play one, and I'm really excited because people actually say it's really good. A lot of these games that I have from my 3DS and DS libraries, like hell, I'm selling these things. And there's still some games that I want to get back. Like, if anything, there's one game that I really want to get, and it's the Mega Man Star Force 3. Bro, a complete inbox of that sucker is like $250, $300. Just the cartridge is at bare minimum $150. Like, it's crazy that this is what's happening right now with retro gaming. Is it sad? Yes. But it's only going to get worse, and it's only going to get more and more expensive as time goes on. It's not going to get cheaper. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, yeah, it's going to get cheaper, homie. No, it's not going to get cheaper. It's going to become more and more expensive. And to be honest, if a lot of you guys have some of these older games that you really love, don't let go of them. Just don't. Like, you will regret selling them. And when you try to buy them back, you will end up paying tons of money to get them back. It is not worth it, guys. Hold on to these games that you have. And I get it. Like some of the people that sold me my copies of games, they told me, yeah, they were desperate. They needed money. And I'm like, look, that's understandable, homie. These are still memories that I have that meant so much to me. And I was, just being stupid as a 16-year-old, I sold them. And I regret that a lot, because that really wasn't a good idea. Because look how much I had to pay to get them back. At the end of the day, guys, retro gaming, like, it's becoming more and more important to me. But at the same time, it's also becoming a crapshoot right now. And it's really sad, because a lot of this stuff should not be this expensive. Especially if you think about a lot of these Pokemon games. Like, you want to know how many millions of copies they sold of this damn sucker, and how many millions, like, there's millions of copies of this sucker. And you mean to tell me that for some reason these things are rare and there's a shortage? And some people are saying, in time, a lot of real copies are going to be hard to find. That's just the objective truth. in time, a lot of real copies will be difficult to find. And that's what it just makes it sad. And it's just, man, you know, like, that's just the sad truth about all this. And don't even get me started with the GameCube. That sucker, good God almighty, that is going to be a nightmare. And I'm saying this right now. If Nintendo, by some miracle of the good Lord that is above in heaven, decides to make an N64 classic, you can bet your sweet ass you will never touch that, not once in your life, without paying 5 times how much they sell it for. Because that sucker, I get it, everyone jerks off the N64. I think the N64 is overrated. Like, I get it. It has one of the, you know, Mario 64. It has, like, you know, some stuff on there. And I'm like, look, my personal opinion, I think the N64 is overrated. It only had like one or two, like a couple games that are actually good and memorable. But, you know, that's just one man's opinion. That's my opinion. If you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to agree with me. Like, I still think the GameCube is a little bit annoying to deal with, but like, I originally thought the GameCube had the most overrated controller because everyone jokes that it's one of the greatest controllers ever made. Or they think, no, they genuinely believe that it's the best controller ever made. Like, nothing will ever compare to it. I don't like the original GameCube controller. I found it wildly uncomfortable, especially with the buttons. I like what PowerA did with the wireless one and their wired one, where they made the shoulder buttons smaller. I appreciate that much more. It's more ergonomic personally. It's still a weird controller. I'm not gonna pretend. It is great for if you have a game where you have to mash A, like Pokemon Unite or anything like that. But, you know, we're not saying anything. At the end of the day, guys, you know, let me know, what are some of your favorite memories of these retro games that we consider retro now, which is so weird to say the DS and Game Boy and 3DS are now retro consoles. It's so weird, guys. Or maybe even your 360 or your PS2s, your PS3s, your PS4s, Xbox Ones. Like, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But I do want to say thank you guys, really just from the bottom of my heart, for everything. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for helping us hit over 3,000 total downloads, for actively listening to the show. Like, to me, I couldn't ask for anything more. Like, so far this week has been incredible, whether it be starting my internship and just the experience of that, and, you know, just the show hitting over 3,000 total downloads, you know, and just so many other things that I'm just eternally grateful for. And I really couldn't ask for anything more, to be honest. And yes, as I mentioned, we are still having camera issues because my cam link for some reason seems to work on my laptop for Zoom calls, but on my PC it's having the same issue. So I'm still trying to get that functioning so we can, you know, get this all working. But again, thank you guys for everything. Thank you guys for coming back and listening and downloading these episodes. I hope you guys enjoy. You know, let me know what you think in the comments down below about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? You know, let me know what you think. And as always, guys, don't do anything dumb. Please have yourselves a wonderful week and weekend. And please continue to be kind and respectful of those around you. Because let's be real, the world is still a weird place. And, you know, let's just be kind and respectful to one another. Even if we don't agree with everybody, that's just the reality of things. Like, hey, we're not going to agree with everybody, but we should still make an effort to, you know, be kind and respectful and courteous of one another and take care of one another to the best of our ability. Because let's be real, the world's a weird place. It's kind of harsh, but it can be better. But I love you guys to death. Hope you guys have yourselves a wonderful week and weekend. And as always, don't do anything dumb. I love you guys to death, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Hey there. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day and listening to today's episode. If you're interested in supporting the show, whether it be financially, clicking the follow button, or just sharing the episode, it all works for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I love you guys to death.